It's Monday once again. Here we are talking about another movie. Another Australian movie.
Yeah, another good movie.
We're doing so many Australian movies.
Yeah, this is a good movie.
Yeah, it's weird because I think why we ended up doing this, because actually I had planned to do that movie that one of you guys recommended, the one with Kiefer Sutherland, Eyes of the Killer / After Alice. The weird thing about it is that there's a preview for it on YouTube, or so it says, but then like it won't let you watch it or purchase it. So I was just kind of like, okay, at least not on the Xbox.
It's not available yet.
So yeah, so it's like not available. So I was like, well, shit. So I went over to Shudder, and they had Wolf Creek, and I was like, oh, I've seen it before a long time ago, and I'd been wanting to rewatch it. I thought we had already reviewed it, but I guess not. And I remembered that we had brought it up because last week we reviewed another Australian movie, a recent one from this year, Dangerous Animals, and I think I mentioned Wolf Creek in that movie because the killer in Dangerous Animals slightly reminds me of Mick Taylor from this movie.
This movie actually reminds me of that other movie.
Well, yeah, this was a pretty
different director though, but it's just as good.
Yeah, this is a pretty iconic. This might have been one of the first films that kind of heralded like the big renaissance in like Australian horror. I want to say it's kind of torture porny, but
it's not that bad.
It's not as bad as, because honestly, I hadn't seen it for. I don't think I saw it in the theater. I might well have. But I'm sure I saw it like only a year or two after it came out. So 2006, 2007. And I remembered it being like a lot more graphic than it was. Like it does have graphic parts in it, but it's not as bad as I remember it being. It's not as bad as like something like Hostel or something like that.
What was it, Terrifier?
Or Terrifier, yes.
Something like that.
Which Terrifier is so gory that it's just like funny. It's so over the top.
Jen kind of talked it up. I was expecting it to be a lot harder than it was.
I didn't remember. It was
actually,
like, yeah.
It's actually not. It's about like on par with Dangerous Animals. About like that. Maybe a little bit more. But the direction's different. But I would say that it's still a quality movie. The acting's very good. The whole cast did. The villain in it. He doesn't phone it in. He fucking does a great job in it. But so do the victims, the kids, and the shit that happens in it. It's just a good movie, They're in like, I guess that's the outback.
It is,
looking at a damn crater, and they get tricked into following this dude who basically abducts them and has fun with them and steals all their shit. Fucking tries to kill them and over a long period of time, and some of the dead victims are still in there and all their shit that he's been stealing. Almost kind of like a Hills Have Eyes kind of situation where, he's out there stealing from the victims and trying to live off of it. I think that's his job.
It seems like, and you're led to assume that like when one of the victims finds his stash, like at the end of all the stuff, like you're meant to be horrified of like, he's got all these clothes and cameras and like all this shit that he took from other people.
He's stealing their vehicles and parting out their vehicals.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of vehicles too. So it's like obviously he's been here for a long time and he's been doing this for a long time.
He's
and
got a
hasn't
shop,
been caught.
mechanic shop, but he's not selling them from there. Might be selling them over the internet or something. I don't fucking know. Although that would be dangerous. I would think that would be dangerous. You'd be found out eventually. If they track it into those fucking car parts to missing people, then you're a suspect. They know who sold it. So he's getting rid of them somehow, but they don't ever explain it. But he starts cannibalizing cars immediately as soon as he starts abducting them. But he has fun with them too. He's a real dick. And he's funny though, he's a clown, kind of a fucking hardcore Australian redneck. That's the only way I could call him. I don't know if they call him rednecks, but we call that guy like kind of like a redneck country boy. Mean, sadistic.
Yeah, and
he thinks it's funny though.
The interesting thing about it, and why I think he's such a good villain, and why that actor John Jarratt, this movie was in fact so successful. They made it for a little over $1 million, and it made over $30 million.
Oh yeah.
And
you make a good horror movie, you're gonna make profit.
So they made a sequel, which I don't think I've seen actually, and then they made a TV series with the same guy.
Damn.
In 2016, I think.
It's just like their version of Dexter, maybe.
Yeah, although he's clearly not a good guy. Because the guy, when Greg McLean, the guy that wrote and directed the movie, he wrote the first iteration of the script, and then he was like, it was kind of just like a straight up slasher, but then he thought, wouldn't it be neat if like the serial killer was actually he based it on some real crimes. At the beginning, it's much like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which this gives me a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe. They're kind of saying it's based on true events, which is not entirely true, although it is loosely based on Ivan Milat and the Backpacker murders, which we did a show about a long time ago. The whole thing about him stabbing people in the spine and like paralyzing them, and just kidnapping people that were tourists and stuff like that, so they wouldn't be found and shit like that. So they based him on that. But he's like, I wanted him to be like quintessentially Australian, like Steve Irwin, but like an evil version. You know what I mean? And I think that they succeeded at that in spades. Yeah.
It's got 2 cute girls in it. One kind of looks like Christina Applegate. The other one looks just like Belladonna, porn star.
Yeah, we were weird. I had forgotten. Well, I didn't know who Belladonna was back then, like when this movie came out. But we were watching it, and I'm just like, God, that girl looks really familiar. Yeah, like the dark-haired girl. And Tom's like, oh my God, she looks just like Belladonna, that porn star. And I was like, holy shit, she really does. She looks like almost exactly like her. Yeah, she doesn't have the gap in her teeth. She doesn't have the gap in her teeth.
And when she looks straight at the camera, she doesn't look like her. But any angle on her face looks like Belladonna. She's a little taller and thinner, but
her face is very, very similar. Yeah, and her hair is very similar.
Yeah, look like Belladonna.
To how it was back in the day. Yeah, we were kind of freaking out like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to pull up pictures of Belladonna's face again. Go, yeah, that does.
Like, are we making sure that's not her? Like, you know what I mean?
It was hard to find her face. It's mostly her ass.
Well, no, I was kidding. You can find pictures of her face.
Belladonna. Go try to find it anyway. The actresses are real good. They got a guy with them. He's kind of a young guy. He's slightly jacked, and he does his best to protect him and shit, but he gets jumped he gets bushwhacked early on.
Yeah, there's really not much he could do in that situation.
Yeah, it surprised him. He didn't know he was under attack. Later on, you think he's dead, but later on in the movie they show him, and he's been crucified, wired up to this thing. He gets out, but it's kind of too late. One looks like Belladonna. He got paralyzed. He paralyzed her eventually. Although she did well for a long time. Saved her friend and shit. She did a lot of cool shit. And did a lot of dumb shit, too, though.
You probably would in that situation.
I wouldn't. I would never leave a weapon just sitting there. That
was one thing. And I see that in a lot of horror movies, though, that it's like... people that have been in horror movies, it's like, if you kill an intruder or something like that, don't leave knives and guns right there next to the person. Take that shit. Yeah. Also cut their head off.
Yeah. And he was torturing her friend, and she pulled a gun on him. He left a fucking bolt action rifle there that she didn't really know how to work, but she didn't shoot him in the back. She fucking told him to stop. Like, no. You shoot that bitch in the back.
Yeah, just fucking shoot him.
Don't fucking give him any warning. Okay? Warfare is not about being fair, man. You think Army Rangers are playing fair? No, fuck no, cheating, attacking you while you're asleep. That's bushwhacking people. Ambush is the fucking art, man. You win by deception. And she didn't do that part. She tried to play fair. Hey, leave her alone. No, fucking shoot him right in the fucking back.
Yeah, it's like I would just shout him.
And then he was knocked out, and she starts beating him with the back with the because she didn't know how to use. It was a 22 bolt action, a single shot. So she tried to work the action, but there wasn't anything else in there. You had to fucking manually put one in. She starts beating him in the back with a butt of the right one. I said, no, his head. What the fuck you doing?
Get his head.
Get his head. And there was machetes and blades everywhere. Kill him. You know what I mean? And she's not doing her job.
Well, even the girl that had been tortured, whose name was Christy in the movie, she was just like, kill him.
Yeah.
Yes, kill him.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't have a movie, because that was only halfway through.
It was and then, there was times when that crossbow was sitting right there and she didn't grab it.
Yeah, I mean, that place was just like full of weapons.
And then she tried to save her friend, but there's weapons everywhere. Pipes and fucking junk, because he's in the middle of a fucking junkyard. It says, get you a fucking pipe. Get you that steel pipe. You know what I mean? That's better than a blade. A fucking club. Yeah. Hit him in the knees, elbows, heads. So there was weapons everywhere, and she didn't arm herself. Then she'd run around unarmed and barefoot.
Yeah.
So, trying to save her friend unarmed. But there is a lot of good scenes in it. It's got really good acting. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's graphic enough to be interesting. It's not so graphic to be like Like, okay, this is fucking, you know what I mean? They're you know, it's too gratuitous, you know what I mean? Fucking, it's just not right.
I didn't find it. It's weird because, like I said, I saw it a long time ago. Like, I probably saw it like 20 years ago. And, or, you know, 15, 20 years ago. And I remembered it being a lot more graphic than it is. It does have some graphic bits in it.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, unrelenting. Like I said, it's not, like, Hostel or, you know, some of the, like, new French extremity kind of movies where people get, like, fucking skinned alive.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
It's not... I mean, I don't mind it. You got to be, like, in the mood for it.
Too much. Yeah, well, it depends on how it's presented. When they skinned the dude alive out of Dagon, that was cool. Remember when they skinned the dude alive in Dagon? Because it wasn't realistic, really. It was kind of artistic, I thought. You know what I mean? And fucking, they were just, and it was monsters did it to him. It wasn't humans, you know. And it was part of like some kind of religious ritual. That was a wild flick, man. Fucking see Dagon if you haven't seen it. If you like fucking Lovecraft. Anyway, back to this one. Fucking, it's just a solid flick.
Solid flick, so like I said, it's kind of based on a true story, but not really. What the dude does is, and I kind of like that, because another thing that I had forgotten about this movie, other than me thinking it was more graphic than it was that I had forgotten how long the setup is. Because actually, the road trip part of the movie, where the guy and the two girls, like the friends, they're doing this big long road trip to see this crater, and then they're going somewhere else, I think in Queensland or something like that. And so they're going to be on this road trip for like 3 weeks or some shit. So he buys a car, like this cheap car, and they're like driving across the outback. And like for the first probably half of the movie, it's just kind of that. And I think that's kind of good because, one, it's kind of establishing the characters, so you kind of get a sense of them, you can kind of care about them. And also it establishes the setting and establishes how far out in the middle of fucking nowhere they are. Because, man, the Australian outback is no joke. There is nothing out there. Like, for miles and miles and miles. And it's like, yeah, a lot of the desert in the U.S. is like that out west, but it's, like, not to that extent. So I think that was kind of cool that they, like, the movie takes its time, like, setting that up. And then when they finally get to the crater, which is a real crater, although it's in a different place than it is that they say than in the movie, you know what I mean? And it's actually spelled with an E at the end, wolf with an E at the end, instead of just wolf with no E. But it is a real crater, and all the shots of it from above are the real one. So they did shoot that there. But not like the stuff where they're just around the edge. They shot that someplace else. But so what this dude has been doing, as they find out later, because when the girl gets away from him periodically and like finds all these cameras and stuff that he stole, is that the people go to this Wolf Creek crater and then they go out on the hike or whatever, and then while they're gone, he fucks with their car so it won't start, and then he swoops in like a white knight and is basically like, oh, you know, my camp's not far away, I'll tow you up there and fix your car and shit like that. And most of the people go with him because what the fuck else are you going to do? There's like nothing else around there. And he seems super friendly, right? Like I said, he seems like Steve Irwin kind of. Not real sinister at first. You know what I mean? And even then, it was just kind of like, I had forgotten too, like how kind of friendly he seems at first. And then he takes them back to this mining camp that he's staying at. I think that mining camp, there was a murder there, like, in real life. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people wigged out about that, because it's like...
That was his technique, though. That's how
so that's how he got people, because he seemed really disarming, and he was just funny, and he's just, like, this quintessential, like I said, Australian...
Friendly redneck guy.
Yeah, and they were, like, comparing him to Crocodile Dundee and all this other kind of stuff.
I think the girls were from England, weren't they? Were they British girls?
The girls were British, yeah. The guy, whose name was Ben, he was Australian, but he was like a big city Australian. He was from Sydney or something.
That explains why she didn't shoot him in the back. And didn't know how to use guns. They were British girls. Australian girls.
I mean, I like that she did figure out how to shoot him.
Yeah. Well, he kind of said, you have to work the action. Nothing, you won't shoot when the bolt's to the rear.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, okay.
Well, I think she overheard that. He was telling that to the other girl, and I think she overheard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
I think a person totally unfamiliar with a firearm wouldn't even know what a bolt was. So, you know.
Well, yeah, maybe not. It's like I said, so, you know, she did good for not knowing anything about, but like I said, you should totally just shoot him in the back. Don't like, be like, hey, knock it off, just go blam.
No, fuck all that fucking honor. No. Warfare is not about honor. And fucking she was torturing her friend and shit?
Yeah.
No, fuck no. He would shoot that bitch in the balls.
And I thought that they implied, because he was gonna rape her, I thought they implied he'd already maybe raped her because she didn't have any pants on.
Yeah, I didn't know he already did.
And she was all bloody and her face was all bloody, like he'd been punching
he'd
her
already
and shit.
been doing fucked up shit to her.
Yeah. Because the other friend came and saw like through the window like what was going on.
Yeah, sexual assault would be the furthest. That'd be the least of her problems of fucking what he was doing to her. He had her chained up, was getting ready to fucking cut her fingers off and all other.
He was gonna cut her tits off.
Yeah. He said. He had her in his little shop. He didn't,
but he said he was going to.
He had a little shop and corrugated tin. Did it have a floor? Or it might have been a dirt floor, huh?
I think it was a dirt floor.
Yeah, and he had all tools everywhere. And he was weapons, kind of hunting type weapons, crossbow, 22, machetes and stuff, and Bowie knife, tools, and he had her up on wasn't it a crane, a hoist?
No, it was just kind of like
from the ceiling,
just like
chain
a pole
from the ceiling
kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought he had an engine hoist somewhere.
Maybe, but I don't think he was using that.
An engine hoist at some time. We call it a crane. It's like an engine hoist. But he was gonna work her over. He was gonna torture her. And then the girl that he had before her is hanging next to her on the end of the wall. He said she lasted a month.
She didn't have a head.
Yeah, and
the bottoms of her legs were gone.
Yeah, knee down was gone, and she was rotten.
It was all fucked up looking.
Yeah, and he'd done. And he goes, she lasted about almost a month, and we're gonna have fun and all this kind of stuff. He's telling her, so it was gonna be a long, drawn out process. Yeah, dude was a dick, man.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
Yeah. They got guys like this.
Yeah, American military said, disarming demeanor is exactly the ruse that Ivan Milat relied upon. That's who is loosely this guy's based on, to abduct some of his victims. The rest he ambushed. Yeah. But like I said, it's implied in this one.
Well, he does that too. He snipes people.
He does that also.
Yeah. People that come to help, he snipes them from long distance.
That's kind of one of the things. You actually never find out exactly what happened to the dark-haired girl.
No, you never did find out.
Because after he paralyzed her, with the whole making a head on a stick thing, which is the one thing that I remembered from this movie because of how fucked up it was. You don't really see her after that. But obviously she couldn't go anyplace.
And
so
the bad guy, I don't think he gets killed in this, does he?
No, because there was a sequel and a series.
Yeah.
And actually Ben says the series is pretty good if you haven't.
Yeah.
There's two seasons.
They get away. Kinda.
Well, no.
No, they all die, don't they?
The guy gets away.
Yeah.
The girl. This is what's kind of shitty, is that the blonde girl, Christy.
Yeah.
She gets away temporarily.
Yeah.
She walks through the desert. She gets to a road.
Yeah.
An old man sees her.
Saves her.
And saves her. Sees her. She gets in the car, and then Mick snipes him.
Snipes him from about 100 yards.
And then she flips out, takes the old guy's car, which was a good move. And then there's a car chase.
Yeah, that's right.
And she tries to run him off the road, and he's trying to run her off the road, and he shoots her tire out.
Yeah.
And then the car flips, and then he just fucking shoots her in the back.
Yeah, he ends up executing her.
Which is after all that, I think that's what really, I don't know, this got really critically mixed reviews. Some people thought it was fucking great, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which it is it is kind of similar. It gives me that vibe. Some people hated it because they just thought it was too. They're like, this is based on real people's, but they make a lot of. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was kind of based on Ed Gein, although that's super loosely also.
Very loosely. Ed was nothing like those family members. Right?
No, that's what I mean. It's just kind of like I said, very loosely. I mean, Psycho was based on Ed Gein too, but that's also very loose.
That. Yeah.
But they made Snowtown Murders. That was based on real murders. So I think people were mad because they seemed exploitative, but it's fictionalized.
Yeah, and It's just a story of the victims and what happened to them. And one of them gets away.
The guy gets away.
And the guy gets away, too. The guy gets away and the villain gets away.
Well, yeah, because like I said...
He never gets caught.
And
then here's the weird thing. I was like, what the fucking kind of law do they have in Australia? Because they had the fucking victim dude locked up under suspicion.
That he had done it.
He had done it. You can't do that under American law. They can't lock you up for suspicion. They only can indict you. And to indict you, they have to have proof. So, you know what I mean? I was like, so you could survive some shit like that, and they could lock you up just because they think maybe you did some shit?
Although that didn't happen in real life. That's just like...
Yeah.
That was just for the movie.
I don't know. That might happen in real life over there. I thought...
Well, no, I mean, that... like I said, this is based... It's loosely based on real crimes, but I don't think anything like that happened
in this country, they can pretty much know you killed somebody, but they can't prove it. They can't arrest you. They'll watch you. They'll be fucking investigating. You'll be going through your garbage. They're gonna be on you. Eventually, they will get enough to get an indictment. You know, but sometimes, a lot of times, in their mind, oh, we know he did it. Turns out they're wrong. Wasn't you? It was somebody else. But fucking, I remember when I was living in Boston, we had this murder went down. It was called the Nanny murder. They found her torso in the fucking storm drain down the sewer. And she was a Swedish nanny working for a upper middle class family. And fucking, I was working in Wellesley at the time, and fucking as a salesman, and I knew the local community, and fucking, I was talking to somebody who was in law enforcement. He was a cop, an investigator, and I said, yeah, they never caught that. And he was like, oh no, they know who did it. I says, they do? He goes, yeah, but they can't prove it.
I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah, and I go, it was a dude she was working for, huh? And he says, probably.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Because here's the deal: after they found that body, there was a dumpster fire right outside his house, where he'd put a bunch of shit in a dumpster and burned it.
Yeah, it's a little sus.
He had a second apartment downtown. He had all kinds of pictures of her and other girls and shit, semi-nude and show. And they're pretty sure she was pregnant.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot. But in those kind of nanny situations, or if you work in a household like as a maid or something.
Yeah, and the maid got pregnant. She wasn't going to abort. I'm pretty sure he killed her. And the cops were pretty sure, but they never arrested the guy. They never had any concrete evidence. Not enough to get an indictment.
Yeah, you can't. If you don't have enough, they can't do nothing about it.
They can't do anything about it.
Even though all of the gut feelings in the world,
got away with
and
it.
like I said, all the suspicious behavior in the world.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
Look up
you
a
killed
Boston
somebody.
nanny murder. See if they've cracked that one. I haven't heard anything about it. The Swedish nanny.
I kind of vaguely remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I was there during that.
Yeah.
One of my friends was a suspect.
Really?
John Zwiz from Sleep Chamber. He was the lead singer of a band called Sleep Chamber. And he'd been fucking kind of a little bit under investigation because that band was all about BDSM and shit. So he used to come over, he used to party with and he had a bunch of female dancers named the Barbiturates. And they'd come over and fucking drugs and shit. It was they were all strippers. And the feds got on him because, well, they intercepted his mail. He was getting all this fan mail. And they intercepted some of the fan mail, and some of it was like teenage girls sending him nudes and shit, bondage stuff. And he's like, they just send me shit. I can't control that. They never charged him.
Yeah.
But because he was kind of like famous in that area for like BDSM stuff, they thought that maybe, and that she was into that kind of music, like goth music and shit, and industrial music. They thought that maybe he was a fan. She wasn't though. But they were fucking looking at him. I was looking at him and says, "You do it?" Yeah, no, fuck no, dude. I don't know. He probably would have done. He probably would have told me if he did it. Yeah, that's how John was. Yeah, but don't say nothing. He'd have been like that.
You're just telling me you straight up murdered somebody and you expect me not to tell anybody? Fuck off with that.
If he did it, he probably would have told me.
Fuck off with that.
Yeah.
American military says they tied Ivan Milat to his crimes in the is it Belanglo? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. State Park to the camping gear and articles he stole from his victims. Yeah, so that was one aspect that they did use in this movie a lot, because when one of the girls gets away and she goes back to the mining thing, she's looking for another car because they crashed this other one. It's a whole thing. And she finds this whole room that's just like full of clothes and cameras and photographs and pictures like that, and like stuff that he took from all of his victims. She's like, holy fucking shit. Now I read that there was actually another scene where she had a revolver, like she found one and she was carrying it around, and she dropped it like down a mine shaft or something, and she was like climbing down there to get it, and there was like a whole bunch of fucking bodies down there. But I think they took that scene out for whatever, because they just thought it was too much or whatever. You do see other bodies though. Like I said, you do see that one girl's body, it's like, who doesn't have a head and stuff. And then when Ben wakes up crucified against the wall, there's another body, like another guy, like on the wall next to him, and it looks like his legs have been eaten off.
By the dog.
You're led to assume by the dogs, because there's like
he had dogs in cages barking at him, trying to eat him.
So I guess so I guess he'd been like feeding people to dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
like a little bit at a time.
Yeah, it looked like he had some captive dogs in little bitty cages.
But it's kind of,
he was designed that they were made to eat people.
Yeah, like in a way, I kind of like that they didn't. They just kind of did everything by implication like that. You know what I mean? Because they kind of put you in the shoes of the victim, because you wouldn't know what the fuck was going on. You just wake up and you're just like, why am I crucified to a wall? And then there's like a hungry dog there, and there's a guy with no legs and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that. Like they kept it largely
the dog couldn't
mysterious.
Get to the higher up parts of him because the way it was. The other guy was crucified too. His legs were gone.
American military said maybe a dingo stole his legs. He just took off of them.
No, that pit bull ate him. That pit bull ate him.
Ken Orlock said, what year was the nanny murder? Sleep Chamber, I remember them in the 90s.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. So that must have been around 97. I want to say 97, maybe 98.
I'd have to look
at it. The Swedish nanny murder.
I've heard of that. I know that there's like...
It was all over, man. They were all trying to figure out that. And she was a pretty girl from Sweden. And she was working in a nice house as a nanny. And evidently, she was fucking her boss.
That happens a lot.
Behind the wife's back, and it got knocked up. And she was evidently liked like goth industrial music. She might have been going to Man Ray, but I wouldn't have known who she was. Because we had people kind of come in and out of Man Ray, which was a goth industrial club. And John would sometimes hang out in there when he wasn't fucking high. John was a bad junkie. Him and fucking Rich Campbell. He was actually, I was closer to Rich. I fucking used to love Rich. Fucking hang out with him. He was an ex-army guy. He's kind of like, he looked just like Gary Newman. He was older than me though. He was about 50, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. You'd think he was in his 30s. And he had nothing but just a long string of these fucking really hot goth girlfriends that were like in their 20s. I don't think I ever saw him with a girl older than fucking 30. And he had this girlfriend from LA named Soleil. She was fucking smoking hot. Kind of mixed. She's this mixed girl. And fucking one day one night they got into a fight over the volume of the television. They were watching Excalibur. And they got into an argument because he told her, you didn't have any honor, you don't know anything, this and that, fuck this, I'm out of here. And fucking, and he had evidently been talking about me and Eric, because me and Eric got out of the army at the same time, we were hanging out with Rich. And he said, nobody but Tom and Eric understands me, what he said. And he walked off into the closet, he had a big walk-in closet. When he came out, he was in his Class A Army jacket, and with a .38 special revolver, he had this fucking Smith & Wesson fucking J-frame Smith & Wesson Airweight. There's an aluminum fucking .38 special revolver, 5-shot. He had that. He also had a Mini 14 stuff up in the fucking, because you weren't really supposed to have something like a Mini 14 in Boston. He came out and said, I'm sick of this shit. Fucking, I'm out of here. And he put it to his fucking temple, pulled the trigger right in front of her, popped himself in the head. Soleil freaked out, called the cops. took him and the body away. She went back to L.A. It was fucking... It was horrible, man. Yeah. And he was fucking drunk.
Yeah.
He went... In a moment of weakness, he wouldn't have done it normally.
Well, that kind of shit happens,
Yeah.
you know.
Fighting over the fucking volume of the television.
It's never just about that.
Yeah.
Is it? It always kind of starts out as something small,
Yeah.
but then like all this other shit gets brought up, you know what I mean? So it's never just about that.
Yeah.
CB says there was a serial killer in the UK that got caught because he made his last victim swallow, and they found his DNA in her stomach, and it was the only evidence they got on him. I still wonder nowadays, I mean, you don't see serial killers like you did back in the day, but a lot of them, I mean, obviously a lot of them raped their victims, and it's like they just leave fucking semen in there. I'm like, you know, they can find you from that, right? I mean...
They're not thinking about it.
I guess not.
I think it's like, oh, I'm done. Okay, he busted nut.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's like, I don't know.
He has post nut clarity. I gotta get out of here, man.
Oh shit! I just did something
he forgets.
really bad.
Oh shit! Oh man, but it's too late. I'm not going back.
Yeah, you left all your fucking.
It's okay. By the time they find her, she'll be rotten.
Behind.
Yeah.
They can still find that nowadays. And then to man, they find your fucking skin flakes under her fingernails too.
Do you want any more of that, or you go?
Yeah, let me have like another little bit.
I want a half.
Yeah, like just give it half. Because I started a long time ago, so that's why I didn't chug the whole thing. But yeah, we've been actually watching. Speaking of serial killers, I guess since we're kind of talking about a movie about a serial killer, is that we have been watching this show. I think it's on HBO Max, and it's I Survived a Serial Killer or Surviving a Serial Killer, something like that. And it's crazy because there's a lot of. I mean, there was some women on there that had survived serial killers I had heard of, like Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. We did a show about him. But some of the ones I had never heard of before. I'm like, why are there so many fucking serial killers, man? Holy crap. There's like, I'm always stumbling across new ones, and that's pretty terrifying. I know it's like pretty rare, but still, fuck. We watched one last night about a woman that got away from the Casanova killer. That was back in the 70s, I think. A lot of these are like in the 60s or 70s. But man, the ones that got away from Rodney Alcala, that one was fucked up. That one was actually two women. Because one of the girls wasn't that Rodney Alcala that kidnapped that 8-year-old?
One that lived?
Yeah.
I think that's what his name was, wasn't it?
Yeah, the dating game killer.
Yeah.
But they did the Casanova killer, and then they did the Railroad Killer. It was that Mexican guy.
Yeah, that's a good series.
But yeah, it's really interesting.
Because they talked to the survivors.
Yeah, people that like got away from them.
Yeah.
For, from various reasons. But like the one that got away from the Railroad Killer, that was fucking horrible because she was with her boyfriend and they just like left a party and they were, I think it was in Kentucky or some shit like that. And they just walked down the street and they were walking along the train tracks or whatever, just, talking. And this dude comes up to them and was like, at first is like trying to rob them, but then he like ties them up. And then the dude straight up like drops this giant rock on her boyfriend's head and just like crushes like right in front of her and then rapes her and stabs her a whole bunch of fucking times. Yeah. She survived, but holy shit, can you fucking imagine seeing that? It's horrible.
Somebody named Petite Size Chronic said I'm sexy.
He knows he's sexy.
Yeah. I think it's a dude, though. I think I see a beard. I think I see a beard. Yeah.
Well, dudes can think you're sexy, too.
Yeah, all right.
It's all right.
Gotta pay, though.
You gotta pay. We'll figure out what your monetary point is at some point. We'll have to put you back on trend for that.
Yeah. You gotta be fucking on trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camp Guy said this is, okay, so he must be watching the same show. He was attacking a girl and somehow the police came to the door. He told them he had to put on some clothes and ran out the back door. Yeah, Rodney Alcala, that was what, yeah, and the girl survived. They talked to her. She's grown, she's obviously like an older woman now. She was 8 years old when this happened. She was on her way to school and Rodney Alcala stopped her and said that he knew her parents, and she thought maybe he did because her parents were it was in LA or whatever, and they were like big Hollywood wheeler dealers or whatever. So it's like they were always having parties, and everybody was at their house, and they knew everybody. So she's like, oh, well, he probably does know my parents. Like, she didn't think it was weird. And he's like, oh, I can give you a ride to school. And she was like, okay, like, she's just a little girl. And he took her back to the house, and and raped her and beat the shit out of her. They thought and the cops were there because this hero man who is a traveling salesman, he saw her getting into the car, and he's like, and she was talking to this dude, and then she got into the back seat, and he's like, and I just thought it was really fucking weird, and he called the cops. That's why, because he thought it was sketchy, and he was right.
Yeah.
Because the cops, thankfully, like, listened to the dude. He's like, look, I just thought it was really weird, and the cops went right to the dude's house.
Well, the dude was
the girl, they thought she was dead when they first got in there. They were like, this metal bar thing was across her neck and everything like that. But but she was alive. She thankfully does not remember anything that happened.
The dude was an old school canvassing salesman. Okay, which I did that same job.
Yeah, they interviewed him on the on the show.
So I'm telling you what happened is fucking when you're in sales mode, fucking you really start getting into fucking body language. All right, how to read people. He saw that little girl and her body language looking at that dude, and then looked at that dude in that car and his body language, and he was like, she doesn't know him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucking putting a sale on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what he's doing. He's lying to that old girl. Oh, she got into the car with him? Nah. She doesn't know him. Fucking that's what he did.
Yeah,
he was absolutely right.
He saved her.
Listen to your fucking gut. Don't listen to your mind. Listen to your gut, because your gut has been around for millions of years of fucking evolution. Even before there were human beings, they had fucking guts. Primitive man, fucking back. The reptilian parts of your brain are much older, much more ancient, and they're far more accurate than reason and logic. You go with your feelings. Almost always.
Yeah, I mean, if something seems sus, it probably
if it's sus, it's sus.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is possible to overreact, but I would rather err on the side of caution. Yep. Like I said, that dude saved that little girl's life.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah.
And he saw that body language. He was like, she doesn't know him.
Yeah.
He's lying.
Yeah, he thought it was weird.
She got in a car. She's being kidnapped.
Yeah.
He knew.
That's what he told the cops. He said, I think it's a kidnapping, he said.
Yep.
Let me see, hold on. American Military said, speaking of serial killers, Netflix's Monster the Ed Gein story is grossly inaccurate. Didn't like it. Yeah, I've been hearing like a lot of bad shit about that. We don't have Netflix anymore because I forgot and we didn't pay for it, and I was just kind of like, oh, I thought we still had it, but it will. You know what I mean? I'll get it back, like, because I want to watch the season 2 of Wednesday, but I don't know. I'll get it back on sometime.
I want to see the fucking next season of fucking Fallout.
That's supposed to be coming the end of this year or early next year. I can't remember. I saw the trailer for it. The trailer's out.
I was very impressed with Fallout.
I really liked that.
That was very much in the spirit of the games. I mean, they got the tone down perfectly. That's exactly the way that game is. And I liked Alien Earth. Pretty good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good series.
Pretty good.
I'm guessing they're doing a second season of that.
I want to see that new Predator. I'm kind of warming up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're on an alien hunting planet.
Yeah, that's right. I saw the preview for that.
Yeah, and the girl is an android.
It looked alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We saw a trailer when we went to the movies last time.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a chance. Really, I liked pretty much all of them. I liked the Alien versus Predator ones too, with varying degrees. I think the weakest of them all would have probably been the one with the Native Americans in it. It was okay, but it didn't feel very authentic to me. The one I really liked was Predators. The one with fucking Lawrence Fishburne and all the guys in there they're on the alien fucking hunting preserve. That was a good one. I really liked that one. That was just like the second best one. That was better than Predator 2.
CB says, we can tell when someone brings their computer for repair by the way they act that something on the hard drive is dodgy.
Yeah.
Imagine having like a bunch of really illegal stuff on your computer and then it breaks and you're just like, oh shit, I have to like take it and get, because they're going to see all that.
Yeah, but do you find all the dodgy shit on it though? That's what I want to know.
And are you obliged to report it? Because I would think, I mean, well, here's the thing. I know that, like, some professions, cops, nurses, teachers, stuff like that, are mandatory reporters. Like, if you think that there's child abuse or something like that going on, you have to report it. Like, you know what I mean? You'll get in trouble if you don't. But computer repair people, I'm not really sure. Or what if, remember back in the old days when you had to take photographs to be developed?
Yeah.
What if you saw some shit in there that was like, hey, this looks like some serial killer's fucking... snapshots here, like, would you call the cops?
I think a lot of people thought that you took that to the developing thing and then robots did it and that people didn't see it. No, people saw that shit.
I mean, it's a machine.
It's a machine, but they're seeing it.
But they can see it when it comes out. It just comes out like a printer.
And I heard rumors from dudes when I was in high school that worked in some of those places that fucking certain people were known for having fucking dirty fucking pictures and shit. And they'd make doubles. They'd make copies. Yeah, and it'd be like,
so save those for later.
Dude taking pictures of his fucking girlfriends and his wives, or sometimes girls taking pictures and shit, fucking, and they're making copies.
Get a Polaroid, y'all.
Some teenage boy jerking it back in the day to your picture of
that worked at the photo
of your girlfriend going down on your wife. You know, that kind of shit was happening. You know?
Sorry, I just thought of like what fucking movie was it? It was an 80s movie. I think it was Summer School. And the two like burnout dudes like worked in a photomat, and he's like, "Woohoo! It's more of the redhead with the tattoo."
Oh yeah. I think
they're making copies.
Yeah, that was back in the '80s. Back in the '80s, fucking, we as kids we could get fucking cool jobs and quit them like it was nothing. You know what I mean? Fucking, we'd have them like 6 months, do it for the summer, working at drugstores, and some people would go work in places that had those drugstores that had a photo mat. You'd be in there, you know, or to developing things. They had people that would work in remember the little photo huts?
Yeah. Like that was like out in the parking lot of the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like a little drive.
That was like a good goth job. That was like the fat goth girl working in there.
It did seem like a lot. Well, because it's kind of an introvert's kind of job.
You're working by yourself.
You're working by yourself. You don't have anybody breathing down your neck.
Yeah,
you can just kind of chill out all day.
Books,
you can just sit in there and read.
Yeah, they're basically security guards. They're just taking the shit and fucking logging it. They're not developing.
That kind of job has always been really appealing to me because they don't develop them in the little thing. They have to send them out.
Yeah, they send them out.
You know, so they basically are just sitting there collecting your shit and then
they're writing their times and dates and
shit. That's all. So it's like, that sounds like a pretty good. I'm sure it didn't pay very much, but it's like seemed like pretty low stress.
They're basically like a security guard and a cashier.
Yeah,
but that's something you get back in the day in the '80s that you would give to like a fucking teenage girl.
Yeah, I remember like a lot.
Yeah, and granted, she's not here. We were teenagers together in Michigan when I was there for 2 years, man. Fucking, all our girlfriends worked at Denny's. TCBY, the fucking yogurt place. They had the cute girls working at the yogurt place, man. That little bitty redhead, he remembers who she was. She didn't go to school with us. She went to fucking school in Woodhaven. Man, that little girl was so cute. She used to hang out at fucking Denny's with us. Fucking, there was just all kinds of shit. There were girl jobs, and teenager jobs. You know, working at Showboat Theater and fucking cleaning up in the middle of the night after the fucking shows were over.
Yeah,
it's all kinds of stuff like that. It was a different world. I think those jobs are harder to find now. I think they got full-grown adults fucking fighting to get those jobs now.
Well, yeah.
But shit, we used to just be able to walk in and get a job instantly.
Yeah, it was much easier.
And it was enough it was enough before I joined the Army where a single dude like me could have a fucking nice little apartment and a car. Yeah. And be able to go to the clubbing and be able to fucking afford some clothes and have a girlfriend. Just on one income. Yeah. Hard to do that now.
Can't really do that
in the U.S. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, and it was like a bullshit income. Yeah. Wasn't even like a good job. It was a bullshit job.
Yeah. Yeah, CB said, yes, we call the police if it's child shit or murder shit. I would hope so. But like I said, I would like to think that murderers and shit like that aren't dumb enough.
Yeah, they're not that stupid.
To just, like I said, get a fucking Polaroid, duh. But you know what I mean?
Well, nowadays it's digital cameras.
And now, but back in the day, you could have got a Polaroid. They've had Polaroids forever.
If they want to, they can go into your phone and look at all your pictures anyway.
Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, every time somebody goes missing or gets murdered or something like that, that's the first thing you do is pull all you. I mean, they have to subpoena the phone company, like whoever your carrier is.
All your electronic
they can
devices.
read all your texts and all that other kind of shit. So you know what I mean, and they do. So it's like So don't talk about murder plots over text because they've caught people like that too. I mean, obviously.
She must be a huge red flag because all she does is talk about murder cases and fucking have the shows and fucking
I know. I wonder how
shit.
many lists I'm on.
She's probably on a shit ton. But probably what it is they look at it and they go, oh, okay, she's a horror author.
Yeah, and I write true crime, so it's like, yes, I look up true crime shit every fucking day.
Right. So there's probably a special category for that.
I would hope so. I'm a walking.
I mean, you're not searching out how to make fucking cyanides and how long does it take to kill someone from this or that or
Not saying I'm not curious about that kind of stuff. Not because I I want to do it. I'm just kind of curious. You know what I mean?
Oh, I always ask how much force does it take? You know what I mean to fucking knock somebody out, or if you're this size and this weight, how many fucking 140-pound men can you fight and win?
Well,
AI will kind of know.
And the thing about that is that, when I wrote fiction, like sometimes I'd have to look up shit like that too. So I'm sure I got on some list somehow. It's like, hey, what would happen if? Well, it's like I still remember the story about Stephen King writing Survivor Type. Remember that very famous story that he wrote about the guy
eat himself.
And he had a doctor that lived next door to him, and he was asking, he's like, the doctor, he must think I'm fucking crazy, like all the shit that I'm asking him. He's like, so how much of a person how much of yourself could you eat before you die? Like, and what are the logistics of that? Like, could you cut off your foot and eat it?
And how much extra? Here's the thing that makes me wonder.
Like, what's the caloric
here's the problem. I mean? Let's say you're starving to death. All right, you're already losing weight. You anesthetize yourself and amputate a leg and eat that. Yeah. Now you have to heal. Yeah. The damage. Right. I think you probably that's when it might be a deficit. It's a deficit. I would imagine. I would think that what would happen is that you're better off not eating the leg. Eating the leg requires more calories to repair the wound than what you got from eating the leg. Because you're not that efficient. No. Okay. So don't eat your own leg if you're on a island. That's why that's the tip there. If it worked, animals would do it when they were starving. They'd start eating pieces of themselves to buy more time. But it doesn't work. They instinctively know, that's not good. Work out. Yeah, that it's better to just sit there and just wait. Maybe food will show up, Yeah. But they won't start taking bites out of themselves. Yeah, that would be the damage you're doing, you're not going to yield enough fucking calories to repair from the damage that you created. So no. But it was a good story. It was a good story, though. If it worked, that was all that dude. You would develop instincts. And the thing about it was that in the context of the story, that dude was kind of slowly going crazy. That's the only reason why you do it is if you were some kind of eataholic. Where you gotta continue. He was at first eating like pigeon or seagulls and shit like that, but he couldn't catch them. So if you were these dudes that fucking had to constantly be eating all the time, maybe you would do it. But and he was on a bunch of drugs too because he had like a bunch of drugs on him. Well, that's how he was getting it done. Yeah. Didn't he have like a bunch of coke or something? No, it was. Or was he a doctor? I think he was slightly a doctor, and it was medical equipment and stuff washed. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because from the plane crash. And he was giving himself just enough morphine or anesthesia, local anesthesia, so he couldn't feel it. That's a great fucking story, by the way. Because he had to do the surgery. Yeah. So it wasn't morphine; it would knock you out. I think it was just some local anesthesias he was using. They did it on the Shudder series Creep Show. Like they did an animated version. It was actually pretty cool. Yeah. American Military said, I used to be a Kmart 1 hour photo guy. Yeah. I remember knowing if people had dodgy film and they dropped it on. And then he said, yes, my coworkers made copies of dudes' naked girlfriends. I'm sure everybody did everywhere. CB says, we had a 90-year-old man bring in his computer and we saw the naked photos of his 19-year-old girlfriend. He had a 90-year-old guy? Oh, she was for hire. I would assume, yeah. Yeah, and then Tanya said true crime is interesting, though. Yeah, it's like, look, if I'm on a list for looking up true crime shit, then a lot of people are. Because, man, a lot of people read that kind of stuff. Especially a lot of women read that stuff. Not entirely sure why, but it's a thing, for sure.
like I said, Tom says he watches it. He liked that serial killer show too. We've been watching that.
Yeah.
But it's like it starts to bother him after a while.
Yeah, I can only watch one.
It bothers me too, but for some reason I can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
Even though it bothers me.
I had a lot of real life fucking violence and shit happen, you know what I mean? Fucking from military service and other shit that I was doing, you know, fucking held decapitated fucking beautiful Israeli girls, decapitated heads and dragged bodies out of fucking wreck sites and shit like that, and fucking and I could kind of have an understanding of like fucking what that would actually be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fucking watch the dudes fight I think to death, actually. Watch a lot of people die. Talk to dudes while they were dying. Looking at them in the eye, it's going to be all right, man. We're reassuring them and they just fade out, you know. And it's just like, none of the shit that I saw was really, none of the really bad shit that I saw actually was on purpose. And some of the shit that was on purpose, a lot of times, well, they deserved it. Okay? They were willing combatants. That's one thing, you know. It's very different than what these serial killers do. And they're taking an innocent person that really hasn't done anything wrong to this killer. It's just sadism. You know what I mean? Fucking for no purpose. There's no higher goal other than this dude's fucking ego. You know, or it's just, which to me it's a perversion. You know, so I don't like it. So I think about it. You know, I mean, it's not as theoretical for me. I'm just going like, because I've seen it up close. So I'm like, why does he want it like that? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, I wonder the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the reason why I'm so fascinated by it is because the way that the dudes think is so alien.
Yeah.
That I'm just kind of like, I can't help but be interested in it because I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? You know what I mean? Why do you think that way?
You see, the normal human interaction is animal, which is reciprocation. All animals know about fairness. All animals understand you do something nice for me, I'll do something nice for you. Yeah. All animals know about reciprocation.
Yes.
Especially primates. And humans are primates. So it's normal for a person that you're in a fight and these people hate each other for them to want to kill each other or to fight. And then when they die. Maybe one of them might die. You understand that. You saw that coming. It felt natural. It doesn't feel natural when it's a person that is not your enemy. They're not fighting you. And you're just attacking. You know what I mean? Fucking for sex. Or something. Usually it's like sex. Like it doesn't
or some
make
kind
any
of sadistic.
Sometimes,
like,
yeah. So it's like, you know, that's not reciprocation. That person hasn't done anything to you to deserve what you're doing to them.
Yeah.
So it feels like an abomination.
Although sometimes they do think that they have, or that's how they justify it.
Yeah, but it's not true.
No, of course it's not.
If you know, because as a person that's just reading about the situation, or if I was there watching it, you instantly know, no, that's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And makes me want to kill him.
Well, yeah.
You know.
And most people feel the same.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. And if that dude did something, he killed that person, I'd want to kill him the same way he killed. That's why in all ancient religions and ethos and moral systems, it's basically eye for an eye. That's the animal way, really. The high-minded stuff, well, we got to be nice to our... That's less normal for me. I don't really believe that, but right now American society kind of believes that, but it has a veneer of civilization there. But that veneer is very thin. Once that's gone, it goes back to the way it's always been. You do unto others the same what they do to you. It's dumbasses like me understand that a lot better, and most people are dumbasses, and half these motherfuckers are dumber than me. Okay, so they don't understand. What's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Most people understand retribution. They understand punishment. If that isn't there, they'll just do whatever the fuck they want to do. They'll become dominant. Evil will dominate. That's what will happen.
Yeah, CB said, as someone who has a fetish, I don't understand why everyone would do something without consent. Yeah, that's but see, that's what is fascinating to me about these kind of motherfuckers is that they're getting off on the fact that they don't have consent. They're, dominating you. They're establishing power over you. That's what they get off on.
What's weirder though is that they kill them.
Yeah.
Or they name and kill them. So no, that's even weirder than not having consent.
Like
because they have some fetish motherfuckers like that little prostitute girl. What's her name? She goes to these parties called consensual non-consent, where everyone consented
that's a thing.
That if you agreed to go to these parties, and if you step across that door and you're wearing that fucking armband, somebody can do something to you without your consent. Now they're not going to kill you.
You would hope.
No, it's in public. It's all in front of each other. But if somebody just wants to come up and just get up in your booty, they're going to do it. And everybody in there is decided.
But they've all agreed.
They've all agreed
because that's its own.
That you can do whatever you want.
You're still giving permission.
Yeah.
But you're giving people permission to do stuff that you don't really.
That you don't really want to do. Yeah.
Permission for.
But you want to do. But you want to do things that you don't want to do. That's why they're there.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
you wouldn't go to kill each other or to maim each other,
unless you were into that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I kind of get the appeal of that.
It's the danger element. They don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like some people really do get off on.
Yeah.
On it being dangerous, like you never know what's going to happen. Like something bad could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people really like that. So like I get it. You know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with that. As long as everybody, like I said, is over 18 and as long as everybody has agreed, yep, and they sign a waiver or whatever the fuck they do. And it's like...
Yeah, and they're all kind of vetted. They all know each other.
Right, so it's not like anybody's going to do anything really horrible.
Yeah,
like I'm going to start cutting parts off of you or anything.
They probably have to have a hot test. They're probably all hot. Or you can't get in the club.
Maybe.
So... Or maybe they put some ugly motherfuckers everybody likes. So, hey, no, you got to fuck this ugly motherfucker too.
Yeah, that might be part of the kink.
that one porn star chick who's fucking British girl who's like the biggest slut in the world who broke that big record for like gangbang and shit. What's her name? You guys don't know who I'm talking about. She's big in the news right now. She said when she was a sex worker, she says it was just something you just kind of realized that you can have sex with anybody. And she goes, what do you mean? She was like, you ever been on a bus and you just see random dudes in there? You just have to accept that you could be having sex with any of those dudes. And she says, it's okay.
Yeah.
But she just flips a switch. What's her name? Fucking, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
She's kind of a fucking hatchet face looking chick with weird eyes. But she's like on all the fucking podcasts. Always on the news.
I don't know. I don't watch that kind of stuff. So
yeah, she makes her own stuff. She's made a shit. She's a millionaire. She makes fucking millions of dollars by doing these stunts. She's like the evil Knievel of porn.
Well, everybody's good
that's what she does.
Everybody's good at something.
Yeah.
More power to her.
Yeah, but she started off as a hooker, so it didn't matter to her.
You kind of get used to it after. You're just like, whatever. Kind of get over it, I suppose. But yeah. What was the other serial killer when we were watching? Oh, it was about Gary Heidnik. Didn't we do a show about that motherfucker? I thought we talked about him on the sex slave kidnapping show where we talked about Ariel Castro, because this was the guy I think it was in Philadelphia, I want to say, that was keeping all those women in his basement.
Yeah.
And he was some kind of preacher or something. Yeah, and he was trying to like impregnate them.
Yeah, he was gonna make a perfect race.
And he was like keeping them in a hole. And
he electrocuted, cut one of them to death.
Yeah, like crazy motherfucker.
I think that chick's name I was just talking. I think her name is Bonnie. Bonnie Blue. Does that sound right? Bonnie something. I think something.
I don't know.
British girl.
I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know.
I thought maybe you might have heard. I mean, she's she was like the talk of the town. She's been on all the mainstream podcasts.
I don't listen to those. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, before we go, since this is already a sidetrack show, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, we talked about the movie.
No, we talked about the movie already.
I wanted to say I don't think Oracle is here because I think it was Oracle that remember on the sidetracks a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago, probably like a month or two ago. And we were talking about cover versions. And I think I mentioned the Sisters of Mercy had covered that song, Jolene, the Dolly Parton song. And Oracle said, I think it was Oracle, she said, oh, there's like a Lovecraft version of that. And I had forgotten about it. I wrote it down. But then, like, I forgot about it. And then, like, over the weekend, I was going through all my little scraps of all my stupid scraps of paper I have over here, writing down everybody's movie recommendations and shit like that, which I do periodically just so I get rid of all the scraps of paper. And I looked that up again. And there's a whole I don't know if I'd call it a rabbit hole, but it's like, it's a rabbit warren. Let's call it that. Apparently there's a whole little subculture genre of people covering Jolene, except Jolene is an eldritch abomination.
Yeah.
And I think it started back in like 2021 or something like that, like on Tumblr. Somebody gave a prompt like saying about that, and then people started, like, different people started adding verses.
Yeah.
So it was like this Lovecraftian thing. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's so funny. And it's just like, so I looked on YouTube, and there's a bunch of different, not a bunch, but there's like a good big handful of like people doing this Lovecraftian version of Jolene. And then I found this one girl, and her channel is called Joliet4, I think it's called. And she's just her and a guitar, and she's just in her room or whatever, and she's singing it, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, if you don't know, maybe people don't even know what Jen's talking about. There's a song, it's kind of a bluegrass country type song called Jolene, and it was really made famous by Dolly Parton. I don't think she wrote it. Oh, I think it was around before that. It's basically, Jolene, please don't steal my man. That's basically what it is. I know you're pretty. You're going to steal my man away from me. It's just a country song like that. Well, if you ever read any Lovecraft has a lot of references to elder gods, old gods, gods that existed in their own universe long before the gods you believe in. The gods you believe in, like God of, fucking El, or, Allah, or fucking, the Christian God. Those are all false gods and fucking in Lovecraft's universe. Those are false gods that mankind just made up to make you feel better. The real gods were these fucking, basically, monsters.
Yeah.
They created everything, and they hate you. Or they don't even know about you.
Or they don't care.
They don't know about you, or they don't care about you. You're just something that was actually made out of the junk that they forgot about. You evolved from garbage. And sometimes these old gods show up to punish you for being bad, or just because you're in their way. So the song is rebooted. It sounds just like Jolene, but Jolene is now being described as an elder god that shows up
in the shell of a woman.
The shell of a woman,
Jolene.
And fucking, she's setting the skies ablaze and fucking boiling the oceans and fucking
it's so awesome.
And fucking, standing upon mounds of fucking dead bodies.
It makes me so happy that this exists. I'm just. It just makes my little horror nerd heart like. So
her eyes blasting you down to the bone. Which Jen told me about it. I went and listened to it today later on my own, and I was going, it's pretty good. And fucking.
Her voice is beautiful.
Yeah, it's real good. But it's not that original in a certain way, because Rob Halford from Judas Priest, all the way back in the 70s, was basically doing the same thing with songs like The Sinner and fucking Exciter and fucking... Rob was the fucking leather daddy, and he would sing these songs about these sexy-ass fucking demigod, elder god type dudes that would just come down and punish you and just destroy your world because you're a bad boy. Because this is just a BDSM type god, you know what I mean? Fucking just looking at him, you'll boil your fucking flesh and fucking, you'll burn into cinders, and you're glad that he's come home, and fucking to set shit right and to destroy evil, and punish you for the sins and shit. And he's a vulture, fucking, it's just, the same kind of concept. But hearing it in the Lovecraftian version terms, I was going like, yeah, Halford was doing the same fucking thing. Yeah, his was more sexualized though. But Jolene is too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in that version of the song, it's kind of like the person singing is kind of into this. Just fucking horrible but beautiful, godlike fucking woman that comes and just fucking lays waste to the planet.
Yeah. But it's just, I just thought that
you love her. Yeah.
I just thought that was so cool that like that little subgenre exists. And I had only heard about it. I didn't hear about it until Oracle said something about it, and then I discovered that there was a whole little. And like I said, the lyrics were not really written by one person. It was just like a prompt.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was Tumblr or Reddit. I don't remember where it started. But then like each person that commented after would like contribute a verse. And then some people like added their own verses or rewrote verses and stuff like that. Like if they didn't like some of the ones. But But yeah, like there's a pretty good like established set of lyrics that a couple people have done versions of. But like I said, I think this girl's is my favorite because just when she first started singing, because she's just like this little kind of little nerdy girl with little glasses and stuff, and she started singing, I'm like, holy crap! Like listen, her voice is like really good. It's really amazing, and it's like and man, she gets like super into it too. It's like it's really awesome.
American Military 100 said he was listening to Turbo Lover today. Yeah, fucking from.
I have that on Spotify.
That was the most leather daddiest, fucking gayest song that fucking.
I can't believe that people back then didn't immediately twig onto the fact that he was gay because duh.
Oh yeah,
that is like the gayest song ever written.
Yeah, two dudes wrapped. I guess you and him wrapped up in horsepower, thousands of horsepower, fucking shifting forward into new gears to explode this heavy load and. Yeah, man, fucking two dudes fighting and fucking basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious like what that song's about.
It was just obvious then.
I know, but it's just like it's funny that like I don't know,
it was obvious then, but I was thinking, well, it could be about a girl, but that's not what it is, though.
No, it isn't.
No.
He even says Fire Island in that song.
Everybody... No, that was Raw Deal.
Oh, that's Raw Deal. Okay.
Raw Deal, yeah. Now, Turbo Lover, that's
oh, that's right, yeah.
It's different. In Raw Deal, fucking... That's what I was saying. People... Rob Halford comes out as gay in the 90s, and people were surprised. Like, no, he came out in fucking 70, like, fucking 7. Fucking Raw Deal. Read Raw Deal. Man. Well, there's no lyrics, but you gotta listen.
Yeah.
You go on to fucking... He made the spike about 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Okay? All eyes hit me as I walked into the bar. You know, fucking yeah. There's these leather cops and steely dudes. Fucking what he said. All this couple cops playing rough stuff out on New York's Fire Island. That's the gay town, man. 2 cops playing rough stuff. That's fucking leather daddies, man. Dressed up in leather cop outfits. Fucking. It's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, of course.
And he goes on fucking he's having a near-death experience with all these heavy bodies flying. Fucking, yeah. Gangbang. That's right. That's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said,
because they were in the spike.
Very obvious.
Yeah. In the commentary, they had guys who were commenting, oh yeah, I used to go to the spike. And it said, yeah, there's a back room and we all be back there fucking.
Well, yeah.
That's kind of the whole and they had guys in leather and other guys in denim, and the denim were like the bottoms, and the guys in leather were the tops. Well, and it was 70s fucking gay bondage. Yeah. That's exactly what he's talking about. So I was saying, no, man, fucking Rob came out in the 70s.
Yeah. Just people didn't pay attention.
You didn't pay attention. I was a fucking teenager listening to that. Is he talking about what I'm thinking? No, it can't be.
It can't be.
It can't be. No. Not him.
Yeah, well.
And then like a couple years later, he goes, oh, no, that's exactly what he's talking about. Yeah.
What he's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could have mistaken it for anything else. It's not even, he's not
well,
even
it wasn't a mainstream concept.
He's not even being subtle about it.
He was talking about something back before
yeah, that's true.
The internet was like very underground BDSM fetish world that the average kid, had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
Klaus says Turbo Lover Live on YouTube is another level.
Yeah.
You probably heard that.
Yeah.
You listen to that all the time.
Yeah, I've heard it, yeah. I don't know, fucking, yeah. One of the greatest heavy metal bands of all time, Judas Priest.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
Yeah, I'd say they topped Iron Maiden. Judas Priest and Metallica.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Judas Priest was around for a long time. It was very versatile. It sounded different. It changed a lot. In the 70s, it was the 70s shit. I liked the 70s shit. It was almost kind of like prog rock, some of it, which I liked it. And then British Steel came out. It started to sound more metal. Painkiller came out a lot later, but my favorite album, fucking Screaming for Vengeance and Sin After Sin. Sin After Sin, I would say. Or Sad Wings of Destiny. I really like the 70s stuff. It's all good. I don't think they really had a bad album. But, Rob had good taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He listened to all kinds of shit.
A lot of musicians do.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're going to wrap it up for this evening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, we did talk about the movie at first. I always feel bad when we go off on these tangents, but whatever. Yeah. We did talk about the movie extensively, so you have to listen to it later. But yeah, so we're gonna do.
Klaus, I got 13 o'clock shirts. I can make you one.
Yeah, if you want one, we still have the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't usually wear this one, but I wore it today. But
yeah, I can do t-shirts, fucking tank tops.
One of these
I got female tank tops.
One of these days I need to do a new design. I just haven't had time, you know.
Yeah. But I got a stock of blank shirts back there and a bunch of screens, and I'll make something up to order. Usually charge like $20 a shirt.
Yeah, because we have a bunch of shirts of blank ones, and like I said, we have the screen. I don't know if we have any ink left, but we can get them.
I can get it, yeah. And if it's a size we don't have, I can get more.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. On the show Wednesday, we are gonna do Faith Healers. That should be a fun show. I'm actually rereading James Randi's book, The Faith Healers, which is on Amazon, on my Kindle, just in preparation. So we're going to be talking about, I don't know, we'll probably just talk about fucking Peter Popoff and Benny Hinn and all those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So we can point and laugh, but you know what I mean. I don't know, do you want to do like psychic surgeries and stuff too?
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Maybe we should do that kind of stuff.
We haven't done any paranormal in a while.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, technically it's not paranormal, it's just fucking bullshit, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, so that should be a fun show. At least it won't be super depressing, like our shows usually are. But yeah, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. And we will see you guys again on Wednesday night. Good night.